What's going on, guys? It's Picsoleated, and today we are looking at this shining, shimmering, splendid masterpiece of a shoe. This is not something you see every day or at all on a shoe. Really, be honest, when have you seen a shoe like this? Okay, that's not fair. The entire collection this shoe came from released a couple months ago already. So yeah, there are a few shoes like this out there, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're looking at these dashing beauties. It's the Nike X Kith Lebron 15 in the closing ceremony. These shoes were extremely hard to come by, and I'm extremely fortunate to get them, and that's not an exaggeration. We'll get into that in a sec. If at any point you enjoy the video, feel free to hit that like or subscribe button and peep the boy on Instagram at Picsoleated for fire pics and future giveaways. Now usually I'm outdoors, but today I'm indoors. If you're wondering why, it's because it was an extremely rainy day, so I had nowhere else to film this really. The Kith Lebron 15 closing ceremony is the fourth and probably final sneaker to release from the Nike X Kith Lebron Long Live the King collection, which included other shoes known as the King's Cloak, King's Crown, and a white high top pair with the royal embroidery design on it, and the band wrapping around it that was a friends and family pair. I'm not sure what it was named or if it was named at all, but this pair, the closing ceremony pair, was the last one to have released, and let me tell you why I was so extremely lucky to get these. Because it was a surprise release. Let me lay down the law of the land for you. Are you ready? On a bright, sunny August 21st day, I was at work. I walked towards my desk. I just chose to look at my phone, and at that very moment, I saw a Twitter notification from the man himself, Mr. Ronnie Feig. Now here's the kicker. I was a split decision from ignoring it, as we do with most tweets. Let's be honest, like 98.9% of them are useless, but I told myself this could be special, so I tapped it. I clicked the link, and to my shock, it was a surprise release of the Kith Nike Lebron 15 closing ceremonies. Obviously, time's precious in such situations, so I shifted into my autopilot cop mode. I clicked on the shoes as fast as possible, added to cart at break finger speeds, and finally checked out after a handful of grueling loading screens. To my surprise, it actually didn't sell out before I checked out, which is a godsend on Kith nowadays. So yes, I'm going to cherish these. And after the official surprise drop on August 21st, Kith did a second round of releases, releasing all the bot-ordered pairs they apparently canceled via a raffle on their app, and potentially having an in-store raffle in their LA store. I'm not sure if they ended up following through with that last one, but they definitely did a raffle on their app. So that's how the release went. I was able to get my size too, which is something I haven't been able to do in a while either. Now I don't know what the backstory to this collaboration is or what the ethos behind it was, but I am willing to do a little extrapolating. This is the final piece to the Nike Kith Lebron Long Live the King collection. The collection seems to be a play on LeBron James' infamous nickname, King James. It plays on the fact that LeBron is the greatest player of his time. Some people might say the greatest ever. Now there's no question he's the greatest of his time, but you dare say he's the greatest of all time? Or the GOAT? And you'll get plenty of people chewing your ear out as to why that's not the case. Either way, the play on the title of King James is where the fancy imagery of the shoe comes from. Even the name King's Cloak, King's Crown, closing ceremony, it's all a reference to royalty and things associated with a king. And this is no doubt a unique design choice for a performance basketball shoe, but does it hold up in the court of hype coins and the court of value? Let's find out. Now the shoe retailed for $255, but that's really not going to matter now since they're all sold out and are just going to resell on the aftermarket. First, let's look at the materials. But before we get started, let's just take a moment to admire just how beautiful this box is. My dear God, look at the reflective gold, green, and red all over this box. It's just a regular cardboard box, but this is as premium as you can get with a cardboard box. Let's just say hypothetically I had to throw out all my boxes but could keep only one. This is the one I'm keeping, fam. Alright, enough adoring, back to the materials. The majority of the shoe is all black, and the upper of the shoe is entirely one piece of what Nike has been calling battle knit. This battle knit is very sturdy and holds shape incredibly well for something with no layered fortification for the most part. The heel and the ankle area is padded and cushioned well all around, so that definitely helps reinforce the back end of the shoe, and the ankle opening itself is supremely snug. The battle knit forms a rigid diamond shape around the ankle collar and a less prominent bumpy texture across the rest of the shoe. The shoe comes with thick black rope laces with gold lace tips laced into what can only be Nike's Flywire tech, meaning the eyelets are connected by wire to the midsole of the shoe, so when you tighten the laces to the top, you're really tightening the whole shoe for a full lockdown fit. The shoe comes with a pair of alternative laces in a black and gold bumblebee-esque colorway to add a little variety. Then we have this very unique design choice, a zipper running across the entire front part of the shoe. It's pretty much exclusive to only the Kith Lebrons that have released. You'd think these would help the fit, right? Well, you're wrong. They serve no purpose whatsoever other than aesthetics. It's sort of like an Easter egg. You unzip the right shoe and get to read the text, "Long live the king," underneath. Unzip the left shoe and you get Kith x Nike LeBron 15. There's a heel pull made of nubuck with a very premium feel and the LeBron James King logo with Kith branding embedded in it. The most striking design element of the shoe is without a doubt and quite obviously the royal themed embroidery that runs all across the upper. We have roses with green vines, leaves and stems interweaving through gold in the kind of designs you'd see on a king's throne. All of this just screams luxury on the entire shoe and just rubs it in your face like peanut butter. Now, if you look on the outer left side of the shoe, we have a gold lion sticking its paws out, while the right shoe has a giant gold K written in that old English font you see on medieval manuscripts and Microsoft Word documents, as well as cholo tattoos. There's a small uppercase RF embroidered into the K in red. It is obviously the initials for Ronnie Feig, and it seems like the rest of the shoe following that big K is meant to spell something out, but it was purposely made vague so we could interpret it as Kith or King, and I could have definitely made that up, but if that's the case, it's a pretty genius execution. Finally, we have this all black midsole with a flat horizontal swoosh sneakily hiding on the back portion. This is a conscious decision made by Nike to make the swoosh as inconspicuous as possible, going completely against what they normally do on their shoes, which is put a gigantic swoosh on either side of the shoe. And what I like most about this all black midsole is even the Max Air and Zoom cushioning tech bubbles are wrapped in a matte black. Typically, these cushioning pods are almost always transparent because 1, it's cool to see the cushioning tech in action, but also 2, it's kind of hard to make it not transparent. So it makes me wonder how they managed to pull that whole black wrap thing off. And lastly, we have this super spiky, supremely grippy outsole in all black with a lion peering out of the heel of the shoe. Now I'll be straight up with you, I haven't been this excited to own a performance basketball shoe in a long time. And if you're wondering why, the devil is in the details. Putting aside that Kith is one of my favorite brands, Nike makes quality shoes and LeBron is one of the greatest players ever, just look at the shoe. When have you seen a basketball shoe so decorated and embroidered with luxury hits like this one? Okay, I take that back, I'm sure there are plenty, but something about this design just resonates with me. The floral pattern and embroidery is something I saw growing up on our own and other people's furniture. If you're into clothes and designing or just know the process behind it, embroidery is something that you've always found intriguing. I know I always have. My mom was an embroidering whiz back in the day and I used to see her knit all kinds of intricate patterns, including flowers and vines, through cloth. There's not much you can do to this shoe by ways of customization, but it's probably the only shoe I own that could be used not just as a shoe, but a mantelpiece in a home as well. When it comes to sizing, I went with my true to size 10. I have tried a 9.5 in the LeBron 15s and they actually fit really well. Lengthwise, I prefer going half down at 9.5, but the only issue was the width as I have wide feet, #DuckFeetGang, and it was just a tad too tight to where my foot felt slightly uncomfortable. I'm sure if I walked around a bit in them, it might feel better, but I didn't want to take that chance. For the most part, you can most definitely go half a size down in LeBron 15s. I took a few steps and my left foot started to feel a little bit of fatigue, probably because of all the pressure it was absorbing from the sides, so I decided to keep the size 10s. For the most part, you can most definitely go half a size down in LeBron 15s if you really wanted to. They do fit long, I just didn't want to take that chance, and because I'm wearing them casually, having a bit of breathing room in the shoe is okay by me. When it comes to comfort, these shoes are pretty much the top of the line for Nike basketball shoes. They house both Max Air and Zoom cushioning tech in one midsole, which is pretty top tier when it comes to Nikes. I can't say that I feel too much of it as I haven't played ball, nor do I plan to play ball in these, but they're definitely not uncomfortable. Or maybe that's the whole point, you're not supposed to feel it, you're just supposed to get a comfy ride. Just know they are comfy and cozy all over. Plus, for ball shoes, they're actually super light. The upper forms very nicely to your foot. I personally feel like these might have just a tad too much give for a ball shoe, but I haven't balled in them, so take my opinion with a grain of salt on that while you watch performance reviews for the real answer. The traction on the outsole is intense. With all that spiky goodness, I don't think I've ever felt a shoe more grippy than this one. Not that it matters to me since I'm going to be wearing these casually, but something to mention nonetheless. Now, of course, a shoe like this, although it's a performance ball shoe at its core, this collab calls for it to be more of a lifestyle shoe, and that's sort of a growing theme in a lot of Nike performance shoe or signature athlete shoe collabs. Regardless, these shoes are comfortable and lifestyle friendly while still being court ready. So if you want one or the other, or both, you can have that with these. Although you'll only be able to get them in the resale market at this point, so something like StockX, eBay, or GOAT for a premium, you're looking to pay in the $600 to $750 range depending on your size, and even more if you decide to wait, so it's still a hefty price tag, just not as hefty as most of them off-white joints that are popping off right now. And to be honest, these are much louder than those Nike off-white sneakers, so if you want the most bang for your buck, I'd say these are the ones. But that's all secondary. The real reason we're here is to find out, are these worth your hype coins? And the result? A resounding yes. Yes, they are. That's it from me. I'm going to be wearing these as often as I possibly can. They're great casual shoes, very comfortable and secure, and they stand out. What did you guys think about these? Is LeBron the GOAT or is he not? Let me know in the comments. Catch you later. Picsoleated is King Pix.